Next on the bench, we got a Heathkit SB1000. It's got some weird ass plug that's totally ass backward from my plug. So, yeah. So we're going to switch out these plugs so I can plug it into my 220 and give it a power up test. So hold on to your whatever. Psychotech Labs will be right back. Okay, we do not have a variac for 220. Okay, so we got the end rewired. We're plugged into 220 with our 220 extension cord. All it's left to do is hit this button and see what happens. Well, the tube is not lighting, and yeah, it's going crazy, I tell you. It does have the original capacitors in it. Yeah, not a very good start. So, yep. Not off to a very good start at all. Alright. We'll have to pop it open and go through and make some tests with some of the components. We definitely did not see any filament activity in the tube, so well, that's not good. The Heathkit SB1000 next on the bench at Psychotech Labs. So after our initial startup, give it a sniff test there, and it definitely has a little bit of a smell to it. Definitely wasn't from the heat from the tube, because yeah, we had no filament. So we're gonna go through, take the top off, but first we're gonna let it bleed off for a while, and then we'll take the top off and go all through it, pull the tube out. We'll take a continuity tester and we'll test the filaments and see if the tube has open filaments. And then we'll go through the high voltage power supply. Original caps, those really should be replaced. So we'll be back. Okay, we put in our test tube, a known good tube, and no filament. We unhooked the high voltage so we could test it safely. Unhooked that wire from the diode bridge. Oh, focus. We don't have any 12 volt power. We got no 5 volt power. I checked and we're wired correctly for 220. The smell that I'm smelling smells like transformer. Every part has its own unique smell. Transformers have kind of a sweet, waxy smell. I don't know how else to describe it. So, yeah, not looking good for this puppy. We're going to go through, double check with heat things, but yeah, it's looking like we got a damaged transformer. Catch me after a bit. Let's get to checking some more stuff out. Psychotech Labs, over and out. You know, for once I wish the damn schematics would actually be accurate. It's supposed to be a black wire right there coming off of this stuff. What's that? It's a white wire. It's going down to a circuit board. Okay. Schematics don't show anything like that. Nothing like that at all. I mean, I kind of need to trace this stuff out. I kind of need to have accurate schematics. I don't know, man. Any way you slice it, this is going to be dangerous to test, but I'm going to have to pull this little board out, see what the hell's going on, trace out the wires. I don't know. In the end, I probably, usually every time I run into this, I end up tearing everything apart and then rebuilding it the way the schematics are. So I don't know. Let me tear that stupid circuit board out if I can. See what the hell. Try to get this stuff traced out. We'll be back. Okay. No matter how you slice it, I need to be able to test the transformer input and make sure we got 220 volts going to it. So I gotta go between pin 2 and 4 and between pin 3 and 5. Let's get her done. Okay. I have nothing. Pin 3, 5. I have nothing. So I don't have anything going into the transformer. As far as I know. Yeah, that safety switch is definitely getting pressed down hard. But yeah. Okay, we are on pins 2, 4, nothing, nothing. And 3 and 5, I've got nothing. Okay. That might be a good thing. Maybe the transformer's good after all. But we're getting no 240 volt input. So we'll have to trace all this stuff out. Like I say, it's not the same way as the schematics. So it's got a little circuit board in there. It's got a little fuse, and yeah, that circuit board is not showing up on the schematics. And where they put the circuit board, I'm probably going to have to pull the transformer in order to get to that. So let's hope I don't. Well, this job just went to an interesting level. Hopefully the transformer is not blowing. And yeah, we can get this sucker going. So let's find out why we're not getting 240 volts into the tranny. Okay, always test your test equipment. The problem was on the meter. I got that sorted out. Let's run our test again. 2 and 4. Three and 5. Nope. Not getting the right reading. Yeah, we're not getting the right reading, so okay. I'm gonna go ahead and run some other tests and whatnot, see if we can figure out why, why we are not getting the right reading. So we'll be back. Okay. These right here, that's the output of that relay. I've got input to that relay. That's all insulated down on the end, so I can't get probes in there safely. But I have specialty probes. I can jam these into the wires and then measure the output of the relay. That's where our next test point is. That's what we got to do. We got the specialty probes. Let's get to probing, boys and girls. Let's get her done. Okay, we've tested here, and we have 220 volts coming out of the relay. We also have the 150 triggering the relay. So that's all been tested. That means the problem's down in this stupid little board here. It's not even in the circuit. So yeah, we gotta pull the damn transformer to get to that board. Damn it, man. Did not want to do that. Well, we're gonna take a quick break and come back out here and do stuff I didn't want to do. We'll be back. Alright, so we have 220 right here. That's coming out of the relay. It's going down to this little board that's not supposed to be there. Some kind of aftermarket soft start board, I'm going to guess. Why the hell would you put it on the input to the transformer? And beside that, it's not even working because this thing's been on over 3 minutes and it never fired up. So we have to pull the transformer back a little bit, and then we're going to pull this board out. We're going to wire these two wires over here to the bus strip here, and so pins 1 and 5 need the 240 into it on the bus strip. So we're going to do that tomorrow, and yeah, get some voltage into that transformer, see what the heck this puppy does. Stay tuned. Psychotech Labs, we'll be back. Hello. So today we're going to unbolt this transformer. We're going to try to tip it back this way, get it out of the way so we can take this aftermarket board that somebody put in between the power relay and the power transformer. We've proven that we got 220 volts coming out of these wires that go to this board, but nothing coming out of the board. So Look at these wires, way too small a gauge size. That's your main input to this big transformer. That's a joke. So let's get that piece of shit out of there, wire it back the way the factory made it, hook it up to 220 volts, turn it on, and see what happens. Stay tuned. So here's a lovely nasty little trick. So you got a bolt that goes all the way through this transformer here. There's the nut and the bolt. Here's one of the nuts that have to be removed. You can't, because you can't get a damn socket on it. Way down in here, we got the same thing going on. Right back in there. How in the hell? Because I just used the, come on camera, I just used the thinnest wall socket I got, and it's a no-go. So trying to get the transformer out, just turned into a huge clusterfuck. Excuse my French. Well, time to get out the cutting torch. Isn't that what the good old boys do? When it gives you shit, you get out the oxyacetylene cutting torch. I don't think we're ready to do that yet, but we got to get this damn tranny out of the way. Catch me after a bit. Well, that transformer is not coming out of there, so let's try taking these screws out here and swivel the back and get to it that way. Well, hopefully we can get those screws out, the back tilts, and we're done. Stay tuned. Alright, there it is, all wired the way the factory says to wire it. That's right. It's wired exactly like that now. We have the power relay. When it trips, 220 is going to be sent out of those two wires. The proper color coding, black like it's supposed to be, up the gauge size, and yeah, pins 1 and 5 will now have 220 going to it. I'm going to flip the switch. In theory, let's button it up and try it out. Okay, welcome back to Psychotech Labs. We've rewired that, bypassed that stupid little aftermarket board they had in there. We put the tube in. Now we have the high voltage unhooked at one of the high voltage wires is unhooked on the diode rectifier bridge, so there shouldn't be any high voltage. Looking for that tube to light up. Let's hit the switch and see what the hell happens. Oh, look at that. It's alive. Well, check that out. It's coming back to life. Yay. Alright. Got a problem with the grid current meter pegging over. That's not good. Don't know if that's the tube or not. We have the test tube to put in, so we'll go ahead and swap that test tube out. See if the grid current meter still pegs. But hey, amazing, huh? Take out shit that don't belong and shit works every time. Psychotech Labs. There's another lesson in physics. If it's not broke, don't mod it. Yeah. We'll be back. Okay. 10 ohm, 10 watt resistors. They use these as fuses. One of them is blown. It's going to open the circuit. Because that's severely underrated. for that. Alright, so we got the tube to light up. Grid current is still pegging. I don't really see why it's doing that. I'm going to go ahead and hook the high voltage up next, juice it up, and we'll see what it does with the high voltage active. Stay tuned, that's coming up on Psychotech Labs. Okay, moment of truth, the high voltage is hooked up. We're going to go ahead and juice it up, see what happens. This is the part where I really wish I had a 220 volt variac, but because this has a power relay in it, it turns the voltage on and off going to the transformer. Your variac pretty much is useless, so let's turn it on, see what happens. Buzzing pretty hard. Don't like the buzzing. Yeah, it was buzzing a lot. Have high voltage though. Yeah. Don't like that buzzing. It's a little on the loud side. Yeah, it had a high voltage. The grid current meter is not going ape shit. Just for the hell of it, let's key it up. Hello. Well, it's putting out power, and it blew a breaker. So yeah, she's buzzing pretty hard. Thinking maybe caps. Yeah, more of a bad cap or bad diode. So we have to go through the high voltage stage, check all that out. Yeah, probably going to need to put caps in it. So there we go. What we're going to do is basically, let the voltage bleed off. We're going to call that a win for the day. It did put out power, it was amplifying. Yeah, but she definitely blew a fuse, so hopefully we're not having a problem with the transformer. Hopefully it's a problem on the outside, on the, the high voltage section. It was working okay with the high voltage section on the hook and it wasn't buzzing, so anyway, we'll have to test all the diodes and all that crap. Probably got to recap it now. Stay tuned. Psychotech Labs signing off. Okay, so we got it to where it turns on now and the filament lights up. However, it was buzzing. We did actually get it to put out power before it blew the fuse. I'm suspecting we got a bad cap because those are original. Right, or it could be a bad diode up here in the high voltage stage. It was fine until I hooked the high voltage up. So this is the wire coming out of the transformer. Yeah. So how do we test all these parts? No. What we're going to do is we're going to unhook the output of the rectifier bridge where it goes into the capacitance bank. If the short clears up, then we know we got a bad cap. So that's basically what we're going to do. If the short's still there, then we know we got a bad diode, and then we get to testing. So I'm going to pop this off, get to where we could solder or desolder the wire going from the output of the diode rectifier bridge. Let's get on that, shall we? So I'm just going to go ahead and swap these caps out. I got some really nice ones here. Might as well use them, eh? They should work fine. Catch me after a bit.
I've been threatening to do this whole project. So we have our 110 volt or 120 volt variac. We have a cord. We put these two spade plugs on the end of this cord. Okay. That's the output of the power relay that turns the power on and off going into the transformer. We need to bypass that. So we're going to pull those wires that I put on there with the spade plugs. We're going to go ahead and pull those out, plug these into it, tape it up real good. That will allow us to use our variac and at least put 130 volts into it. So safety first, let's give it a try. See ya. Okay, we have gone ahead and wired our variac pretty much directly into the terminal strip where you set your voltage for 110 or 220. So we're wired for 220. Well, we're using a 110 variac. We'll be able to get 130 volts pumped into this. So we switched out their tube to my test tube. Safety is bypassed. So nothing left to do except start putting voltage into it. We put a 10 amp fuse in line. Looks like we're pumping about 300 volts out of the high voltage section. It's about what I'm showing on that meter too. Yeah, it's showing about 600 volts. All feeling okay so far. I'm not getting a bunch of resistance. We're up to 1,000 volts. Filament's starting to light. Okay, we're pumping at 140 volts and according to my little digital meter. And we're getting just under 2K, 1.9 kilovolts. Okay, it didn't blow up or anything. So I swapped out the caps for some used caps that I had. It looked really good. We plugged it in, turned it on, and we had we popped a fuse, a 15 amp fuse. I just tore the whole high voltage section apart, double checked all my work as far as the capacitors installation they're correct, and checked all the diodes, and everything's checking good, no shorts. Don't know why it blew the fuse. It's got me kind of stumped. I hate mysteries like that. But looks like we'll put it back together and try it on 220 again. I don't know. That tube might be bad, and it might have done the tube might have flashed over. So not sure on that. All right, catch me later. Psychotech Labs over and out. Okay, so we powered it up with my 110 volt Variac with my test tube in it. Ran up to 2000 volts. No pain, no strain, no problems. We've put his tube back in here, and we're going to go ahead and try this. Now the only fuse is going to be in my Variac, because we're pumping the Variac directly into that power bus that changes it from 110 to 220. So we're still wired at 220, and it's only going to provide half the voltage to power this. So we'll see what it does. Yes, I don't have a 220 volt Variac. I know. See me, right? So here we go. God, I hate this part. Well, start pumping some voltage into it, see what it does. Might help if I turn on the linear. There we go. Filament's starting to light in the tube. We're at 1200 volts on the high voltage. 115 volts input from the Variac. No. It went up to 2000 volts without an incident. So yeah, no idea why it popped and blew the fuse, unless it's doing a flashover once we get, you know, close to 3200 volts. Well, let that voltage bleed off, and then all that's left to do is hook it back up and hook it up to 220 and hit that switch and see what the hell it does. Stay tuned for another thrilling episode of Psychotech Labs. Yeah. So I went to change out the fuse holder, and it's got these really cheesy little ear things, and one of them's wore out, so this will no longer stay in. So I got to replace that whole stupid fuse holder. Arrgh, I'm really starting to get pissed at this linear. Damn. It's annoying the hell out of me. It's just one thing after another. Oh, on camera, stay in focus. And of course, the diameter of this hole has to be smaller than the standard diameter of a standard fuse holder. So we got to get out the nibbler tool and nibble away some of this friggin' metal. People wonder, you know, why does it take months for me to get my linear back? Alright, well, I've been working on this thing for days and days and days now. And Yeah, so much wrong with it. I mean, the list goes on and on. Now I gotta deal with these cheap fuse holders that don't hold up. Wow. Okay, well, let's get the nibbler tool out and nibble away some metal and nibble away a few more hours of my time. Yay! Okay, got our 220 volt in here. We replaced that stupid cheap fuse holder. Yeah. So we put a 5 amp fuse in. We're going to go ahead and hit the switch, see what happens. Oh, fucker went kapam again. Damn it, man. It was fine up to 2000 volts, but yeah, when it went for full voltage, it blew again. Oh man, we fixed so much fucked up stuff in this thing. Something's definitely still fucked up. Stay tuned, we'll have to try some more dangerous shit on Psychotech Labs. Okay, so no more 220 for this linear. We're going to go ahead and wire the bus strip to 110 volts. And we're going to bypass the power relay and run the variac direct into the transformer with it wired for 120, and that way we can bring it up on the variac slowly and see what the hell. We're also going to remove the tube, and yeah, in case that tube's flashing over, which could be. Yeah, we were able to get it up at 2000 volts, and it was no problem. But boy, when we went to do the full power test, now blew that fuse. You can tell something shorted in there too. Stay tuned. We'll rewire this son of a gun and try it again. Okay, so I rewired the bus terminal for 110 volts. I have bypassed the relay once again. We're going right to the bus terminal with the variac. We'll be able to bring it up to full power. Oh, we pulled the tube out. So no tube in there. So this bypasses the on-off switch, the fuses, everything. We have a low amp fuse in the variac, so it should blow real quick. There's a problem. So, without further ado, let's pump some power into it, see what the hell. We got voltage. Fans turning. I hate this. Everything's working good, everything's holding up. Got a lot of high voltage. There we go. We're at 120. Everything's holding. Everything's working good. Oh, there we go. We just popped. Yep, something just popped. Don't know where, but something popped. Well, it's all the torment for us today. I'm done with this piece of crap for today. Hopefully whatever popped is dead now. Then I can go ahead and trace it out. But damn, it was working good. I thought, oh man, probably just that tube was bad, but no, something definitely popped in there. Couldn't tell where. Maybe the camera caught it, I don't know. We'll review the footage and see if we've seen any sparks on the camera. Alright, Psychotech Labs. We're a little safer now with the with it switched to 110. Catch me later. We're off the key. Bye bye. Alright, back to working on this pain in my butt. The camera caught the flashover. That's where you'd never expect. Right there is a bolt that holds this fan on. Then you have this big lump of solder here that is just touching it enough to where it randomly flash over. We're going to pull that bolt out. Get that nut and bolt out of there. It's already got 3. No matter what I do, that's going to be really close. So we'll pull that out. That should end that flashover at that point. We'll test it and watch something else blow up in it. God, I'm so optimistic on this linear. Yeah, this thing's beat me up pretty bad. Lots of crap wrong with it. But you just go through and keep fixing it till it's fixed. So we're going to get on pulling that bolt out of the way so it's not shorting out on the fan input wire. Stay tuned. Okay, that screw's been removed. I put the tube in it. We got a really low amp fuse in the variac, so it should be enough to hold up with the tube in it though. So without further ado, hey, well, let's crank up the variac, see what it does. Oh, tough. How about we plug in the variac? I've heard a rumor that if you plug your variac in, it works a lot better. Okay. Start juicing her up. Yeah, I think I just blew the fuse in the variac. It's too small. Let's let me go ahead and pull the tube out, run the variac up. I'll put a little bigger fuse in the variac. Be right back. Alright, I'm going to try turning the variac up again. We took the tube out, running a small fuse in the variac. Let's turn it up. Kind of feeling a little bit of a buzzing in my variac. I'm not really digging. It's not a bad buzzing, but I can just feel some buzzing in it. Fan's turning. We got some voltage. I'm smelling something burning. Son of a bitch. I really hate this fucking linear. So much shit fucked up on it. We had it all the way up, had the voltage going, and everything was working good till it arc flashed over there on the fan. Now we took that bolt out, and shoot, we definitely got issues. Yeah, I shouldn't have been feeling that little bit of a buzzing in the variac as I was turning it up more and more. Son of a bitch. I've literally tore this whole damn linear apart. So I'm guessing that flashover did something. So we'll have to backtrack the circuitry. Damn it, man. It should have been fixed. Pull the bolt out, bam, problem solved. Done, fixed a million other things. I mean, first it wouldn't turn on because that stupid soft start circuit somebody put in there was blowing all the hell. We fixed that. We turned it on. It was buzzing really bad in the linear. That turned out to be a bad capacitor. Fixed that. Go to power it up. Something's flashing over. I don't know, man. Good Lord. Yeah. When you get this pissed at something, you walk away from it. So we're walking away for now. See ya. Alright, if you look right down there where the light is, you can see where all those flashovers happen. Got the big black spot on the metal of the case. So yeah, we had to walk away from this for a little bit. It really is pissing me off. I mean, pull the bolt, should be done. Nope. Now we get a fucking dead short somewhere. So, and the transformer definitely was starting to stink. I've unhooked the fan. We're going to tack the back on. We're going to juice it up a little bit and see what we got. Cross your fingers. The fan's just shorted out. It's jumped across the transformer from the bus strip, so it's shorted out. It could cause a problem in one of the windings. So we're hoping the tranny's okay. We're hoping it's just the fan. Fuck it. Let's juice it up, see what it does. Alright. Round two. I've got no hopes for this thing anymore. Every time I fix something, then you start to put power to it, something else tries. Fix that, pick up power, something else is fucked up. So far, it's all been people's fuck ups. The big glob of solder on the fan. Watch this somebody's big fuck up. Putting the stupid soft start in there. That was a big fuck up. The capacitor's going bad. That's to be expected. They were old. So, done with my rant. Let's see what happens when we juice this thing up. Yeah, I'm feeling the variac buzzing. Normally it doesn't buzz quite like that. Fuck. I got a feeling that arc flashed back into the transformer and damaged the windings. So that's pretty much game over at this point. All that time fucking wasted. You know, sometimes I really hate this hobby, and this is one of those times right now I really fucking hate this hobby. Well, I'll have to do some isolation tests and see what the hell, but I got a bad feeling when that arc flashed that last time, it backfed into the transformer because the fan was getting its power from the input windings of the main power transformer. Oh boy, we frack this shit. Hell with it. Let's turn it up a little more one more time. I don't know. Alright. Wait for the voltage to bleed down. We want to feel the transformer. Well, it's not getting hot like it was. Should we juice it up some more? I don't know, man. Damn thing's got me scared now. Fuck it. Crank it up a little more. So, duh. Plug it in. Don't be an idiot. Plug it in. Don't be an idiot. Turn it on. Transformer shouldn't really be humming like that. Yeah, I think it took out the transformer. I don't know, we'll have to measure the ohms of the windings and all that shit. Fuck it. I'm letting this bitch sit for a while. I'm done with it for a while. That's it. Catch me later and we'll get back to work on this someday when I feel like it. Right now, I hate this thing. It had so many fuck ups in it. It's crazy. Catch me later. I'm out.